Welcome everyone to another Edge of Fate build video. Today I am bringing you once again another hunter build, but this one's going to be a bit more unique. I haven't seen anyone talk about the exotic of choice for this build, and that is going to be Khepris Sting. Now this thing did receive a massive rework going into Edge of Fate, and boy did it need it, because I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember last time I used this thing. I pulled this thing out of my vault and it was covered in dust, so I'm glad it is officially getting some sort of love and use now. And I don't think they just buffed it a little bit or reworked it so it's usable. I actually think this thing is potent for in-game and can really put in some work. We're going to be using Khepris Sting today in a build that will allow you to do a couple of things. It'll give you pretty much infinite invis. The main thing that this build is going to do is give you infinite weakening. So infinite like snare bombs, infinite weaken debuff effect you can basically apply to anyone, and with this build you have pretty much a infinite uptime on all of your abilities. All of that combined with insane survivability because of Devour. Devour is going to be used a lot in this build because we will be creating a whole bunch of orbs which will allow us to get Devour for free and just heal ourselves with anything we do. This version of the build I am running also features double special, which I know a lot of people are against, but I have it set up in a way that we can basically have infinite special ammo. We will always have a way to spawn special ammo, so that is not a worry. So that right there was the quick little short synopsis, the quick little spark notes of the build. But now let's get into the nitty-gritty and let me actually show you what to run and why everything that we are using actually matters and what it does for the build. All right, so we're going to go ahead and be on the Night Stalker Void subclass for Hunter. In terms of super, use whatever you prefer out of the two bow and arrow like tether supers. Mobius Quiver if you'd rather focus on DPS with your super, or Deadfall if you'd rather focus on just ad clear and suppressing with your super. For abilities, you're going to want Gambler's Dodge, whatever jump you prefer, Snare Bomb, and then Vortex Grenade. For aspects, you're going to want Trapper's Ambush and Stylist Executioner. For fragments, you want Echo of Undermining, Echo of Persistence, Echo of Starvation, and Echo of Harvest. Now for the exotic, of course, the entire build is focused on the rework that Khepris Sting got with this DLC. They reworked the Touch of Venom perk, so making it where you defeat a weakened target, it will release a burst of weakening smoke and will also refund some smoke bomb energy. So basically what that means is if I go ahead and apply a weakening to an enemy, which this guy is now weakened, and I kill him, he then unleashes another smoke bomb like effect in the sky, which will weaken anyone nearby. And that can be chained infinitely. As long as you're killing someone who is weakened, they will explode and create another like snare bomb smoke cloud effect. Now when it comes to this exotic, another very important part to remember is the second part of this sentence here, is that it will refund smoke bomb energy. This is going to be very important in terms of the whole build to keep the build up and running at all times, is we're basically going to be chaining smoke bombs infinitely. So just to show you, if you go ahead and throw your smoke bomb, you see I have 0 energy there. You get a kill, it gives me a chunk. It probably gives me around 30%. Now, if we go ahead and have them group up, and I obviously weaken a couple of them, look at my smoke grenade energy. Boom, I already got it back within 3 kills. So now I can go ahead and refresh it and just do the same thing over again. Every 3 kills after throwing your smoke bomb, as long as you're killing weakening targets, you'll get it back. So I hope you can start to see the potency of Khepris Sting after the rework. Now for our weapons of choice, there honestly is a whole bunch of different weapons that really work well with this exotic. So it truly is up to you. I just really recommend that you use something Void, and I'll explain that later because that deals with something in the artifact mods. But something Void, once again, I tried a whole bunch of different weapons. Graviton Lance works great. Collective Obligation, because you can just infinitely chain weaken using this gun. La Monarch. But at the end of the day, I think what works best with this exotic Khepris Sting is the Buried Bloodline. And that's because of one line of text. This right here, the catalyst makes it when you have Devour, this weapon will weaken enemies on hit. So if we go back to our fragments with Echo of Starvation, we're going to be getting Devour from anytime we pick up a Void Breach or an Overpower. And then we'll also be getting Devour from this perk right here, where multiple final blows with this weapon will grant Devour. So basically we'll always have Devour up, so our catalyst will always be active. Now if we go ahead and reset this, the reason why this is very important, because let's go ahead and get Devour by getting multiple kills. So there we have 2 kills. We now can, with this weapon, just apply that weaken effect, and literally any kill we get should apply that smoke bomb effect, just because we're basically killing weakening enemies
every time we get a kill with this. So once again, that adds just another layer of infinite weakened chaining, if that makes any type of sense. Now, pairing with Buried Bloodline, you are going to use this thing as a primary, so I like running double special. Now, I know this isn't for everyone. A lot of people are against double special, so you can fill this slot with like anything you want, like a regular primary or some sort of like shoot to loot weapon. But I'm just going to run double special in this video and for the point of this build, because I do think that with the mods and stuff, there is a way to make it where you basically have infinite special ammo. So running double special isn't really a problem in this build. In terms of heavy, you can really run whatever you want. I just once again recommend that it is Void. In the gameplay you saw at the beginning of the video, I was running Hammerhead. I think for the rest of the video, I'm gonna be running this Mistral Lift. But literally anything that you want here, just make it Void. Now, the reason why you want Void weapons is because of the artifact here. So there's a couple artifact mods you can want to run with this, but the most important one right now is Elemental Overdrive. This makes it where anytime you pick up an elemental pickup, where for us in this build, it's anytime we pick up a Void Breach, which we're going to be creating a lot of those, we will then get a increased damage to Void weapons, which is why we want most of our gear to be Void weapons. Other important mods, if you are going to be rocking the Buried Bloodline like I am, Reciprocal Draw is very important and good. I use this literally in my last build video for when using the Final Warning, but this makes it where anytime you get a kill with your other weapon, it will buff how much damage your sidearm does. So if we look right here, that's going to do 329 without the buff. But if we go ahead and get a couple mountaintop kills, we'll have reciprocal draws ready in the bottom left, and that'll boost our damage now to 378. So it's a pretty big difference. So now if we go ahead and combine reciprocal draws ready plus grabbing a Void Breach, which will give us our Void buff, we now are doing a combined damage of 416. So that's almost an extra 100 damage per shot just by combining those two artifact mods. Other important artifact mods are going to be Elemental Coalescence here, and then we'll also run Diviners or Diviners, however you pronounce that, discount, just to make our scab mods cheaper. So now when it comes to the mods on this build, it's really going to be catered around two different things: getting our abilities back really quickly, and then also making sure we have an easy way to get special ammo at any time we need. Starting with the helmet, we're going to run Special Ammo Finder, Harmonic Siphon, and Super Font. On the arms, we're going to run Momentum Transfer, Impact Induction, and Focusing Strike. On the chest piece, we're going to run Charged Up and 2 copies of Void Ammo Generation. These are going to be a huge factor into how much special ammo that we can create for ourselves. On the boots, we're going to run Void Scavenger, Invigoration, and Stacks on Stacks. And then on the cloak, you're going to want Class Fonts, Powerful Attraction, and Special Finisher, which is also going to be a huge part into how we get special ammo for ourselves. So now that we have our mods in place, I'm going to explain to you how our mods allow us to efficiently run double special. So the way I have it set up is when you grab a Orb of Power, you'll get 2 charges of Armor Charge. You're going to want to grab 2 orbs that will give you 4 charges of Armor Charge. That will then allow us to use 3 of those to use a special ammo finisher. You're then going to go ahead and grab the ammo, but all you're going to need then is 1 more orb, and then you'll be able to do it a second time. Now, I have it set up in the build where if you get rapid void kills, you'll create an Orb of Power. I also have it set up where via fragments, if you kill someone who is weakened, that will then also create an Orb of Power. So literally just by playing the game normally and getting kills with your Buried Bloodline and getting kills on weakening people, you should be creating 1 to 2 orbs almost every kill. Therefore, meaning you are always going to have 4 armor charges up, which means just as long as you're getting finishers every couple of kills, you will have infinite special ammo. Now, in terms of stats, my stats aren't the best right now because I have not been grinding armor, so my armor is still kind of doo-doo, but you're going to want at least 100 melee. This is just going to make it where, once again, we get our melee back super quick, which is kind of the whole point of the build. And then the other stat you're going to want to really focus into is weapons, and you're going to kind of want to get this pretty much as high as you can. You want it above that 100 stat threshold, and that's because of the large ammo brick chance enhanced benefit. Basically, the higher you have this, the higher chance you have of every time you spawn a special brick, it makes it a bigger, juicier special ammo brick. Other stats that are good to focus into are class. That's just so we can get our dodge back over and over again, so we can proc Gambler's Dodge, which will then also refresh our Snare Bomb. Super is also very good, especially in Edge of Fate this year. This stat is kind of busted right now. This is what a lot of other people are building into.
So super is also a great stat to build into. And as always, grenade stat is also not bad to build into because we are running the fragment that makes it where our grenades weaken enemies. So that's another way to proc weakening. But all in all, stats, as long as you have melee and weapons, you're kind of good to go. Do whatever you want from there. But that right there is the entire build. I hope I explained everything well enough. If you have any questions, feel free to ask down below in the comment section. As always, I will have a dim link in the description as well if you just want to click that and you can copy all the stuff over to your character so you don't have to manually apply everything. But now let's go ahead and get into the live gameplay section of the video. All right, I think we're gonna run into the Salt Mine solo ops, and with the modifiers I have on, I have Stasis Threat and Battlefield Promotion on, which will put us around 23 light under for this video. All right, so the way I normally start every fight, and wait, why aren't these guys attacking me? But basically the way I start every single fight and everything with this build is you kind of start by activating your, what's that called? Quick Fall or something like that? I'm just gonna call it Quick Fall. You activate that, applies weakening, you turn invis. From there, you can then kind of use that to create orbs and basically just chain that over and over again. That's going to be your main form of like ad clear. Any kind of big, large wave of enemies, that's what you're going to want to do. Just like this, boom, quick fall. From there, you should have orbs that have Devour up, which will then make your Buried Bloodline apply weakening. And other than that, yeah, just kind of rinse and repeat. You basically have infinite ability spam, infinite Devour, infinite weakening spam. You kind of do whatever you want. Make sure you get your finishers off just like this to create special ammo so you're always full on special. And other than that, yeah, it's a fairly aggressive playstyle and build, but in all honesty, even though it is aggressive, it is fairly safe because of the amount of invis, weakening, and also the amount of healing you do with Devour. Boom. For big enemies like that, I like to mountaintop them down. Go ahead and get a finisher here. See, we don't have the armor charge to get the special ammo from it, but we will now for the next finisher we need. We're gonna go ahead and dodge, get our snare bomb back, slam on them, apply a weakening. Make sure that we go pretty much invis with every kill we get because of Siler's Executioner. Had a trick shot on that guy for some reason. Oh, one thing I think I forgot to mention earlier too is when we are creating the void breaches to give us like the damage buff, they also are counting towards our armor charge. So anytime you grab a void breach, it will also count towards that so you can get more special ammo finishers. Absolutely fried that ogre. Oops. Go ahead and dodge that. All right. Throw that, slam on him, and let's go ahead and get out of this Salt Mine solo ops. Alright, that was fairly quick, fairly simple. Honestly, didn't expect it to be as uneventful as a solo ops as I thought, but I hope you got the gist of how potent the build is and how you actually kind of keep up the build rotation and how you actually use all of the abilities and stuff in it. So yeah, that's gonna go ahead and be it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. I hope Khepris Sting can finally get some love because I cannot remember the last time I actually used this thing. If you have any changes or recommendations you would apply to this build, please let me know down below so that other people can read them and maybe try things out for themselves. And of course, feel free to always put builds down below that you would like for me to make videos on. I am always open to any type of recommendation. If you've made it this far, please consider liking and subscribing. I do appreciate all the supports, and yeah, that's gonna be it for me. All you fine ladies and gentlemen, have a great rest of your day.